I do soul music in Detroit, and well, various amount of soul music. Some people would call it house. Some people would call it, soul. I'm a producer, musician, arranger for strings and horns and voices and a few other different instruments. The beginning was actually being a musician. I've been a musician since I was about 3. My mom one day was, playing the piano, and I just got, I'm a mama's boy. I'm right there on her lap. So that's where that started. And then I heard a Hendrix record and wanted to be a guitarist. But becoming a DJ is because that happened at around that same age. My sisters, I have 7 sisters, and they were all, record aficionados. You know what I mean? They all would always buy the hottest, hippest record. And, at the same time, my mom's, little classical stack of Mantovani and Barbara Streisand, and my dad had his little stack of jazz, and my sisters had, the Commodores, Jackson 5, Parliament Funkadelic. So that's the stuff that I listen to. You know what I mean? And, if I heard one record in one key with the same type of chord progression, I find out where that met the other. Running Away meets Diana Ross's Love Hangover. It's the same song. I didn't like house music at first because, hearing something like I Can't Turn Around by, Farley Jackmaster Funk, it's the same track as the, what's the name of that, Isaac Hayes' I Can't Turn Around off the Chocolate Chip album. So, it kind of upset me. It's like this cheapened versions, like, wow, drummers are gonna lose their studio session gigs, man. Sucks. Wow, but also at the same time, I can understand it because, certain cats couldn't afford, studio musicians or whatever. I began to like it a little bit more as it went on. I liked disco better. I liked a lot of what, I heard in the earlier days. I mean, Something by Sky was live instrumentalists. So, a lot of those records in the early 80s when we were still messing around with what quote-unquote progressive, i.e. house music, a lot of that was still live instruments. So, that's kind of what I was into. But house hadn't even hit Detroit by that time. Don't get me wrong, I'll always love vinyl. The sound of vinyl there will never be nothing that sounds like vinyl. But the beautiful thing is now my whole collection goes right around with me. That's where technology went. And it's a good thing. The unfortunate part about that is music doesn't have a dollar amount on it. I can steal it. I can put out a record tomorrow. Before I even earn money, somebody could take that same record, buy one copy of it, put it up on YouTube, people can rip it from there. Which I find that to be a promotional tool. I have a love for this business. And as this business changes, I may change with it. As, you know what I mean? It's just like, as your, grandmother or grandfather gets older, you love them and you don't mind them having gray hair or, getting older, having a little bit of a chubbier face or whatnot. Hi, cutie. But, you know what I mean? This music business, I love this music. I love music, And it's not just house music that I love. I mean, I did an album with Les Nubians. That was beautiful, I had a really great experience with that. Venturing off into world music and, I do strings for other artists over in Tel Aviv and, in England, so, in, places like that and in Japan. So I have a little bit more of a different vision than just boom, tick, boom, tick, boom, tick, boom, tick, God is good in that respect because he allows me to hear the whole of music. Plus working with artists like Savad and Divinity and all these people, the musical range it's never just one filtered thing. When I'm spinning, I like to feel the crowd from the same perspective that like a band would have, if they were up there playing. I love music, so I'm going to be feeling out exactly what it is they're listening for. If it's a house crowd, I'm going to try to give them a little bit more of a different exposure than what they're used to. Let them have a little bit of the old school Paradise Garage out of New York, along with, Club Heaven from here, and along with, the Music Box from Chicago, as well as, 246 that wasn't so long ago, which was a hot club, but you know what I mean? Everything that we've done as of late has been rather smaller, more packaged. You know what I mean? We're all getting older, so it's like, we don't want a gig, but that's kind of what I'm trying to bring that life back to the club, that energy that says, you know what, I want to live this life right now. I want to use these legs and be active, and I want to sweat. I really want to sweat type of deal. It's a blessing, man. It's one thing. It's music. You know what I mean? If you hear the note maybe C sharp up the street in one genre, it's that note. You hear it over here in another genre, it's still that same note. It does not change. Bernie Worrell taught me like this, referring to the cycle of fifths, that it's a clock. All right? You got 12 notes. You got 12 hours in a day. You got 12 keys in major. You got 12 keys in minor. You got 12 hours in a day. You got 12 hours at night. Everything is 12, right? And I was trying to, I asked him, why do you feel like that? He's like, the universe, everything is on a magnetic scale. But also, those planets are landing on those magnetic scales. When you listen to the sound of the space areas, you hear notes, you hear noises, you hear rhythms, So what we do here on Earth as far as music is speaking and communicating with a higher level. You know what I mean? That's how we communicate with God. What up, though? Blessed, brother. Right now in the middle of doing a remix for artist by the name of Zanye, who's on my, one of my sisters, Eno Savard's Sound Thought label. As a cover of Don't Let It Go to Your Head by Gene Conner. It's really hot and beautiful. And also got some more works coming up with Divinity. Me and her have been kind of laxed in our work ethic, because I've been doing so much other stuff and she's been doing so much other stuff, but we, kind of coming back together to do some work. I was just on the phone with my sister in New York, Tantra Zawadi. She, is going to be doing some work with me in the future too. So a lot of different stuff.